all these Democratic plans need a lot of money, and everyone's talking about how to get that money. And that money will come from new tax revenues. Now, basically, the two main candidates of the progressive ones are Warren and Bernie, and they're both talking about a wealth tax, right? Which means you're going to tax the wealth, okay? It's not a bad dream, but it's kind of impossible to do that. Why? Think about it right now. When you hear about the rich people in our country are paying less taxes than even like their secretaries, right? That's even what they're saying. And so why is that? Because when you have money, you know how to save your money. When you have money, you know how to pay the people, how to trick the government and not get taxed. That won't change with the wealth, okay? Plus, the wealth tax has been tried by many countries and it failed, and so they got rid of it, okay? However, those same countries in Europe that tried the wealth tax and it failed and they got rid of it, what do they all have that we don't? They have a VAT tax, value-added tax. They all do that. We're the one major country that doesn't have a VAT tax. Now, Andrew Yang is proposing that instead of a wealth tax, we do a VAT tax. Okay, now, why is the VAT tax better? Well, because one, you cannot get around it. Okay, there's no loopholes, there's no tricks. Two, it taxes more than just people, and here's what I mean. When a company buys from another company, a VAT tax taxes that transaction. Wealth tax does not. Income tax does not, okay? That transaction gets taxed. When that company then develops something and sells it to another company, it gets taxed. In other words, a VAT tax does not just tax you and me and rich people. It taxes corporations. It taxes companies. It taxes businesses. It taxes manufacturers. It taxes retailers, okay? So we're recovering all that money. Now, why is that important? Because as we move to automation, and companies are now replacing you and me as labor with a machine and a robot, okay? Well, now there's no more income tax. There's no more wealth being created. However, with the VAT tax, when that company replaces me with a machine, they've got to pay a VAT tax when they buy that machine. The machine maker had to pay a VAT tax to buy all the parts to make the machine. As you can see, a lot of people think the VAT tax will make things more expensive, and it might to a small degree. However, so much of what the VAT tax will get in revenue is stuff that won't even get to you and me. It's the company that is replacing humans with machines that is going to be paying a ton of VAT tax. Here's the other criticism about the VAT tax. People are saying it hurts poor people. Well, wrong. The beauty of a VAT tax is you can determine different amounts, and most countries do this, different amounts for different items. So basic food, basic sustenance items can be taxed at 0. They can be taxed at 5%. They can be taxed at 3%. We can adjust that. High luxury items like a yacht can be taxed at 20%, 18%. You can adjust it to basically get what you need from those you're trying to get. So even a VAT tax is a better way to tax the wealthy than a wealth tax. So go ahead and look it up. It's pretty much agreed on by economists, history, and other government actions. VAT tax wins, gets taxes from businesses, and recovers funds for things like freedom dividends or other elements that we want to help the people. Wealth tax costs a lot of money and is a loser.